The PL Show is brought to you by Kel Chaco, Kel 360, and Kel Kids Toothpaste.
Hello there, it's good to see you here on the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. You're welcome to another exciting episode of the show that brings you the stories of women from all across the world. Note I didn't say country, but today the woman we'll be meeting is one who is right here with us in this country, and she's been doing wonderful things in her own way. My guest is the NPP Parliamentary Candidate for Waasa East Constituency, Waasa Effah. Put your hands together for Mona. And Mona, you do have a middle name, Gertrude.
That is Gertrude. Yes.
How are you?
I'm fine,
it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
We'll have a very nice conversation about how lawyer now is entering politics. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kel Kids Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel Kids. Happy smile.
Welcome back to the Kel Toothpaste PL Show. My name is Keminni Amanor. You're welcome to the PL Show.
Thank you, Keminni.
But Effah sounds very familiar.
Effah is an Akan name. We have it in the Bono region, in the Kwewu, and then Wassa. We even have it in the Fantis, yes.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Right, so let's talk about the first then. What was life like for you growing up?
I'm the fourth born of 7 children. My parents were the late Samuel Brantford Effah and Miss Mary N.T. My dad was, blessed memory, he was a civil servant, and my mom was an educationist. In fact, we grew up in Choco, so you can imagine.
In
Wagawa.
Hey!
Yes.
Anyway.
We grew up in Choco. I think my earliest memories were when I was, 4 years old. I remember we had just moved into Choco, and my big brother, he saw somebody coming into the house, and he was speaking. He was calling my sister, who is called Ya. So the person entered the house, and my brother said, Ya. I said, hey, so you're sacking me from your house. It became a whole new issue. You know, Ya means go, get out of the house.
Yeah.
Yes. We are 4 girls and 3 boys.
What would you say in your childhood has influenced the person that you have chosen to be?
My dad was from a very humble background. But as we were growing up, he went to school, actually. His parents felt that, there were 2 girls and then a boy. He was the boy. We'll come to that later. So they felt that he should go to school.
Oh.
So he went to school, and he was a bit enlightened. As we were growing up, we had this huge library in the house. And that was my sanctuary. I was always in there reading the Chinua Achebe's, all the African writers series.
You have read?
That was my hobby those days. In fact, I will just run out of everything, go and hide in there, and I'm in a whole new world. It gave me a sense of imagination. It gave me that thing that says that I can go out there and do something. It opened the whole world to me. And that is one thing that has really impacted my life.
Interesting. So, had you always wanted to be a lawyer?
No.
Okay, what's the story?
There's a big story behind it. When I was a kid, those days we used to have this newscaster, Beatrice Edu.
Yes.
When I see them on TV, I'm like, I'll be a newscaster. I'll be a newsreader. So that was my thing, my passion. But as I grew up, I said, hey, I need to get more. I need to do more. There's something more that I can do. How do I get to do that? How do I even know what I want to do? So I was just going through the normal thing, going through school and all that. And then after, even before first degree, it was still in my mind that, okay, I'll do journalism. But after the first degree, I said, no, Mona, as I said, you can do better.
Yeah.
Think about that. But then I looked at my background. You know how difficult it is to get to the law school if you don't have any person up there to push you. So somebody saw me. In fact, as I was growing up, I was that type. How do they call it? In Chile, you say, Otrimansu.
You're a litigant.
That is it. A big litigant. So I said, hey, where's our law? So it came into my mind. I said, okay, let me try my hands on it. Let me see. And you had to go through an exams. After that, you go through an interview. And I applied to go to law school. I did that. I was chosen out of a number of about 1,000 people. I was picked to go for the interview. We went for the interview out of around 400 and something people. They picked only 100, and I was part of it.
But, you know, between the period, you know, where you were growing up in Choco and law school, I'm sure there was quite a bit of a journey in there.
Yes.
You had your education in Choco as well?
Well, I started with Radiant Way Preparatory School, which is at Koligono. I don't know if it's still there. I left there around class 4. I started class 1 to class 4 over there. I told you my dad was a civil servant, so he was being transferred left, right, center. He was transferred to the north, Upper East to be precise, Bolga. And my mom had to go with him. So what could they do?
They couldn't to carry the rest of you.
Yes, no, they didn't carry us there because they felt we should have our education down here in the south. So they took us to boarding school. And that was St. John's Preparatory at Achimota. So I went to class 4 through to class 6 at St. John's Preparatory. In fact, when I went to class 4, I was that good. So I jumped. I had my big brother before me, so I got to the same class with him, and you could tell how that would be.
You received
at
some
home.
knocks.
I became his arch enemy those days.
My goodness.
Yes. But then when I sat for the common entrance, I'm not that young. I didn't do all those GHS and SHS, no. So when I sat for the common entrance in class 6, my dad was always like, hey, Upeko Gehe, you go to Gehe. So during those days, I think the highest for the whole country, when you write the common entrance, it was around 290 something. And I had 256. You could definitely tell I can't go to Wesley Girls because Wesley Girls was way up there. And my dad was pissed off because he knew I was good. So I had to move from St. John's because I couldn't risk it again in St. John's Preparatory. So they moved me to another school called St. Anthony's Preparatory at Odoko. And that school had the lower 6 and the upper 6 those days for the common entrance. So, you know, I had already done class 6 already at St. John's. So when I went to St. Anthony, I went to the upper 6. And when I sat for the common entrance over there, I had 270 something. Which qualified me to be in Gehe. But I don't know what happened. That year, there was this Fiat. It was 87. There was you know, we're still in the revolution days. It's the revolution or PNDC era. So there was a Fiat. So there was a cutoff. And that was when Rawlings had introduced the JHS system. So there was a cutoff that these number of people should go to Wesley Girls, and then the SHS or JHS SHS students should also come on board. So those of us from common entrance background were cut off. Even though I could have qualified to Wesley Girls, I didn't go to Wesley Girls. My dad was pissed off. He didn't do anything. He sent me all the way to Bolga. So I had my first year in secondary school at Bolga Secondary School.
Wow.
Yes. I was there with him alone. My mom had then moved back to Accra. So I was there with him alone. And in Form 1, they realized that the weather was not that good for me. I was always suffering, having fever and all that. So I moved back down to South. And then I had my A-level education at Fijai Secondary School in Western Region, Takoradi.
So what did you study at the
I
university?
read English, history, philosophy in my first degree.
Okay.
So I read that. I finished my first degree. I persevered, even though I was facing financial difficulties. So I told myself I had to go work before. Can you imagine? I went to work as a journalist. Something that I had planned when I was a kid. So I was working as a newscaster at Choice FM those days. Yes, that was the year 2000, 2001.
How long were you there for?
Just about a year or so. A year.
I see.
Yes.
So then you did that 1 year.
That 1 year.
Choice. From Choice, where did you work?
Choice FM, there was this advertising company, which was then owned by my current husband. It was his own company, an advertising company, and he needed somebody to help him run it. So he made me an administrator of that company. I was working there for some time, and that was when he himself brought it up. Open Manson to do. Go to law school. And let me tell you this. Whilst I was at the law faculty, I was taking care of our last born, my younger sister. She was staying with me. At that time, my parents' marriage had broken down, so they had separated, and they had moved back to the village. So I was, let me say I was the only one in Accra at the time who was a bit okay. So I took care of my little sister who had just completed it. She was, yes, when she completed Archbishop Potter Girls, she came to stay with me. I was taking care of her. And now I won't say I'm a grandmother, but I will say I'm a grandmother. Yes, she's married and has given birth now. I started taking care of her when my parents separated. She was only 2 years old.
You don't say.
I'm telling you.
She was a pension baby?
I think so. My mom was almost getting to 50 when she gave birth to her. Yes. So when they separated, she didn't want to take her to the village. And my dad was then still in Accra. So when she left, I had to take care of her. And I've been with her since, and just recently.
So she's like your daughter?
Exactly.
I can imagine.
Yes.
I can imagine.
So I've been through all this. Gone through school while I was working, taking care of my siblings when I wasn't even having anything of my own. And that is what I can say. It's perseverance and tenacity.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Do you miss journalism and news reading?
I miss news reading. In fact, I didn't like going out to the field, but I loved it when they brought it back and I had to just sit behind the cameras because that was what I saw on TV and I liked.
And you liked, yeah.
So I loved that one. Whilst I was there, I used to have a lot of this. I still do have it. This allergy. It's made my news reading go bad. Exactly. So I had to just stop and leave, and that is when I went to the advertising company. Where
you found your husband.
Yes.
It was like that had to happen so that you go there and find him.
That is what I keep saying. That is what I keep saying.
Because you would have still, ridden the storm.
That is it. I would have done that. Maybe God felt I had to. I use God a lot because I've come to know him.
You've come to
these
know
days.
him.
Just recently, when I started my political career, that is when I realized that no, I don't have to be doing this alone. I need a higher being out there.
At what point did you choose to go into politics?
Politics has been a part of me since I was a kid. My dad was the first parliamentary candidate for the then Takwa constituency. That was as far back as 1972 or so. He never won the seat though, but he was always into politics. In fact, before I turned 18, I went on one of his campaign rounds with him in the constituency. We used to go to the villages. I'll be in the back of the pickup, having my megaphone. And after that, all I could see was every time people come into our house doing politics and all that. So I wasn't into active politics until 2014. Yes, 2 years after I became a lawyer.
Was your dad also an NPP, member of the NPP?
Yes, he was a council of elder for the party in the constituency, Waasa East.
So it just came naturally to you.
That is it.
To join the NPP.
And you wouldn't believe it. I'm the only one amongst my siblings who is into politics. We are 7. And none of them did that except me. I'm the lady. Can you imagine? The men are doing their own thing. And I decided to just, and it's as if I have just come into it and I'm loving it.
You are?
I'm loving it. Despite all the hiccups, despite all the challenges, all the things that you hear, all the things that you see. I'm loving.
You're watching the Kel Toothpaste PL show. For every oak tree, it begins with that seed that was put in the soil and painstakingly taken care of. Let's take a look at the story of Gertrude Effah in pictures. Oh, that's lovely.
Yes,
The C to Oak
yes.
segment is brought to you by Kel Kids Toothpaste brand. If you're looking for something suitable for your children between the ages of 2 to 6 years old, try Kel Kids Toothpaste. And no strawberry flavor ewomu. Ebebo akola nese ho ban. Ebema nese aye fita afe nso inka enwonenum. Disapproved by the Food and Drugs Authority. You can rely on the quality. With me in the studio is Gertrude Effah, who is the Deputy CEO for the Coastal Development Authority. She's also a lawyer, and then the aspiring parliamentary candidate for the Waasa East Constituency. Who would you say that you look up to when it comes to politics?
I have always loved Eslo Wusu. Not because of anything, but because she's a fighter when it comes to politics, when it comes to what she wants. I remember those days when she was, I think was she now going to parliament, or she was a first-time MP? And they were bullying her at the Makala area. You know where they sell their fools? Cantamanto area. It was part of her constituency then. She was just all over, facing the men. All over. And I'm like, wow. You won't even allow the men to do, your supporters, the men to do that for you. You are out there facing the men. Not physically, but I mean verbally. And she will talk sense in whatever that she does. You can see that she wants to go up there. She wants to go up there, and she wants to bring other women on board. With her stance on so many issues, you'll know that, yes, this woman wants to bring other women on board. Apart from that, apart from her, former President Ajikun Kufuor has also been an inspiration to me. Yes. When I was younger, and even now, His Excellency Nanado was an inspiration and is an inspiration to me. You know why he was an inspiration to me? You know, he's a lawyer too. When I was growing up, when I said I wanted to be a journalist, my dad was also saying, be a lawyer. So it was always in my mind. One day I met him personally. It was personally, and I told him that my dad was always saying I should come to your chambers, but I never got to be there because your chambers, it was all those who had the high class, first class, and all that who were going this.
What did he say?
I didn't get. He laughed. He laughed. Yes. And the late Hawa Yakubu. She was the MP for Boko at the time. Another strong lady.
Indeed.
I used to admire her a lot. Yes, yes.
I
but
mean,
she's passed on.
so why Waasa East?
Waasa East is my hometown.
Okay.
Waasa East is a land of many opportunities. We have resources, all the natural resources that you can get in this country, you can get it there. But we are not getting the maximum benefits out of all these resources. It's beginning to look as if there's a leadership crisis. And we need to harness all these resources to empower our people over there, especially my women. That is my main focus. So I think at this stage, in this season, in the life of Waasa East, I'm the best to come on board.
You mentioned being the Deputy CEO at the
Coastal
Development Authority with focus on the Western region,
Western region and Western North.
And Western North, yes. What's your day-to-day like over there?
I am based in Accra, the head office. I have a regional director who oversees the two regions in my absence. But what I usually do is, after he, with his team, have done all that they do, they report to me. I go back with my team also, the engineer, the architects at our head office. We go back to the various sites, get to see that what they have reported is what is on the ground. And I'm also in charge of corporate affairs and communications at the authority. So when I come back, I see to the day-to-day affairs of the company. So that is what I usually do at the head office. And then when I move to the regions, it's all about visiting the sites to ensure that, yes, we did the right thing with the projects, with the structures and all that. But because I don't have that background, I go with my engineers and the architects and we get it done.
How do you feel when you hear people criticize the party the way they do?
Criticism is good. It gets you to know where you are lacking, yes, and what you should do to correct that lack. So it's good. I feel okay. So long as I know I'm able to identify that they are saying this because of what they are saying. So what do I do? Do I go back to correct them? And how do I do that? You give them the facts. What has happened before? What is happening now? What brought about the situation? It's quite hectic because you can't go to my hometown Ateku and tell them, say, the dollar is running because of this, that. All they know is that the dollar is running. It is running, and we are not able to buy so many things that we need to buy. But there are situations, there are issues that came up that led to all this. My sister, when we say it, they say we shouldn't say it, but when the COVID struck, it brought the whole manufacturing distribution processes to a halt worldwide. So imagine you are in Ghana. Ghanaians need 10 boxes of milk to survive on. We are supposed to import it from another country. There's nobody to work on the milk, on the production of this milk. The distribution process is a mess. What will the price of milk go up to in this country? It will definitely go way up high. It struck us so bad at the time that we were also implementing free SHS. When we didn't have our reserves, to form a bulwark against this shock. So we just fell down. But as His Excellency said, yes, and he did it. He made sure that Ghanaians did not die as much as it happened in other countries. And he said that, yes, we don't know how to bring people back to life when they die. So we'll make sure that whatever that we have, we'll use it to stop that from happening. And after that, we are coming back to fix the economy. And this was just about 2 years ago.
Do you think that the NPP stands a chance in this election?
We do, because I keep saying that at this point in our nation's history, we need our flag bearer, His Excellency Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Why am I saying this? We are in a global economy now. We can't afford to do things the way we have been used to all this while. And he keeps saying that this digitalization agenda that he's bringing on board is going to be the game changer for this country. And I perfectly agree with him. Why do I say that? Let's say this country annually, we need about 3 trillion to run the economy. As we sit here, how many of us pay our tax on a regular basis in this country? And it's all because we are not able to get them all on board to get whatever the nation needs from them. In my area, we have huge mansions over there. How many of them pay property rates or property tax? They do not. But then, with this digitalization agenda, we are going to bring everybody on one platform. Imagine we used to borrow 3 trillion out there to run the economy. And we are able to bring about let's say 1 trillion people on the platform to pay tax. How much is each person going to pay in a month? People will be willing to pay their tax. We will not go out there to borrow money to come and run the economy. And when we don't borrow money out there, we don't have to pay anything back in dollars. When we don't owe, it is when we owe that our dollar, our cedi rate depreciates.
I see.
Apart from that, there are so many other sectors that with this digitalization agenda, we will go far.
How are you raising money for your campaign? And because politics is also a lot of money.
It's about money.
Yeah.
It's quite difficult. I'll tell you a story. We had our primaries in November 2023. When I started my campaign, I was quite okay. Everything was going on smoothly for me because I had planned to go in there. So I had saved quite a lot. Then I had also invested and was waiting for whatever that should come, returns that should come. On On the election day, I did all my campaign. Everything was going well for me. I knew I would win. So on that day, I waited for my fans. It never came. I went out there. I told the delegates, go out there and cast your votes. After everything, I won the day. I won. And everybody was shocked because it had never happened before in any elections, especially in primaries.
Yeah.
Up till now, they don't understand. But I thank the good delegates of Waasa East. They showed maturity on that day. Politics is about money, yes. You need to get people out there to raise funds for you. But I think people are getting to know, too, that it's not all about
It's
money.
not always about
If
the
you
money.
see somebody who can do it, just give the person a chance. And they did it for me.
What's your message to the people of Waasa East as we go into elections 2024?
Waasa East, yeah, constituency bia, ye will be bia, nyankopon ma ye bibia. Nemu no ye hia obia, obeba be hane se san nema ye we nyina na ama ye tumpon. Constituency nanga se tumpon, na emu nipa no so abrabo etumpon. Nti ye hia obia, one, owo sa background na obetimi identify nema e wo so ye. Two, ye hia obia owo empathy. Obia ye kan owatima. Obia owa abadaye. Ye hia obi so a oye obatampa. Obehu say sadie we memma ehia. De bia meka se mma yesiesie fie. Oba bekwa akopre e de aba na ode aba fie aba besiesie fie. Be ma betimi akopre ne nsa kan onfa mba fie. Ode be paia fa baby. Nti me say at this time Waasa East because ye wo resources ni nyina de ye hia oba one wako school edu enim to say me because parliament na ye kono nya agro na ye kodi wo ho e wo say wotimi kona uko na oni omomo ho no e rubbish shoulders no one say you know your left from your right na ni nyina so ye about emra no so no enu na mesua ye ba impuntu so a enu ho adwuma na sisi a meye Waasa East ye nya bia ye about 6 projects the whole 2 regions western and western north me wa about 52 projects for hono nti adwuma ne de e ya de a meye e na metimi aye Waasa East for monhwe samre ye hia obatan oba oye obatampa oba besiesie fie oba owotema oba okopre a ode bebe fie samre enu na ye hia wo Waasa East.
So let's talk about some of those projects.
In the whole 2 regions, in those 2 regions, I have about 52 projects. In Waasa East, I have 6 projects. And these ranges from classroom blocks to chips compounds to markets. So when you take a town, a community like Amponsanso community, one of the remotest areas in Waasa East, I have a 3-unit classroom block fully completed. I have another one, a chips compound actually, in a town called Old Subri in Waasa East. Another chips compound in a town called New Osenso. Then I have 240 open market stalls in my own hometown, Ateku. So that is about 80 open market stalls in Ateku.
I see.
These are the projects I have in Waasa
I see.
East.
And you're hoping that these are the things your people will see and
that
vote
is
massively
it.
for you.
You know why I'm saying that?
Right.
Because when you look at these projects, this infrastructure, it's the basics. Before you develop an individual, you need to make sure they have the basics of necessities. So that's why we went into education, we went into healthcare, and then we went into marketing activities, which is economic. So you touch the social aspect and you touch the economic aspect, and then you start building from there. So with these projects, they know that, oh, Mommy, she has an idea of what we need in this constituency. And it's a rural constituency. You don't even have any, the district capital itself is peri-urban. The whole place is rural, and they lack almost all of these amenities in most of the towns in the constituency. So when they see that you have brought these things, you have done the basics, now do something else to help empower the people themselves. And that is why I come in, the empathy bit. As a woman, what am I going to do to harness the resources in there to use it to empower the people over there? I'm talking about land, I'm talking about agriculture. What do I do for our women? As a woman, one of my contenders is talking about agriculture, and all he's thinking about is building warehouses, getting the farm producers the warehouses, and then exporting them himself. But when you do that, you are going to gain the profits, get the profits. Let the people own the whole thing. And that is where, as a woman, I think that we should bring in cooperatives. You group the women into cooperatives. You're able to get much out of them. You go out there, use them to source loans for whatever you want to do for them. And then they get the money. They own the process from beginning to end. we're going to establish agribusiness in that constituency across board. It's not about profits.
We wish
it's
you
for
the
them.
very best. Let's take a look at the 360 segment now.
Lawyer Mona Gertrude Effah is the NPP's parliamentary candidate for the Waasa East Constituency. She is also the Deputy CEO of the Coastal Development Authority, with oversight responsibilities in the Western and Western North regions. Working tirelessly to bring development to Waasa East and Ghana as a whole, Lawyer Mona Gertrude Effah believes in building the human capacity of Waasa East constituents. Therefore, she embarks on projects that empower the youth with skills to create jobs, which ultimate aim is to bring financial freedom to constituents of Waasa East.
Lawyer dear, I had your friend or Batampa Precope or Wabadaye a manipa na upbringing and how now Koninima or no best recama no with you na a foot to be a voice or the mount and not the amount.
So be a person being happy. So more be a person on phone Bobby on Pesse. Obi show na nunchin, Obi nunchina, ya, catch any panel to say, I hear this step.
Or you nipa Odim, Odim Puntu, Ebebre, Waasa East. Me the Palmamo, because when him said the future of Waasa East is guaranteed under Lawyer Mona Gertrude Effah. Montomano, na Bibia be fine.
I like the final part because that is a very
Campaign
big
message.
I tell you, a very big campaign message. But how do you feel hearing all these things about yourself?
I feel good, and I feel more. I feel that I have to go out there and do more, because when you do these little things and people do appreciate them, it shows that what you are doing is having impact. So it pushes me to go out there. That is why I keep saying I'm loving the politics, because it's all about empowering the people. So it really pushes me to do more.
Well, we are so proud of you.
Thank you, my
The 360 segment is brought to you by Kel 360 toothpaste, which is suitable for the entire family. Try Kel 360 toothpaste. It's mint flavored. It will keep your breath fresh throughout the day. After you it will guard against tooth decay as well. Until you share toothpaste, and they try Kel 360 toothpaste.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I want fat Missy Wayne.
Me pacho bantama.
Matias.
It's her smile.
The fresh breath.
Me Gidi say we use Kel 360 toothpaste. Some me kind.
Kel 360 toothpaste.
Gaskia, Kel 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasan. Kile ko saying. Kel 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
Hey, you will see so feeling when you know Kel 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Kel 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back to the Kel Toothpaste PL show. We're still here with Mona Gertrude Effah, who is the parliamentary candidate on the ticket of the NPP for the Waasa East constituency. But if you are not being Mona the lawyer or the deputy CEO or aspiring MP, what do you do to relax?
I love nature a lot. And that is why I also love going to my constituency. It's all about nature for me. So when you come home to my house, I have about a plot at the back of my house full of grass and plants and all that. And that is what I used to do. I used to relax. I will go in there, go and do some gardening myself, enjoy the fresh air, relax, and then go back in there to continue the busy thing that I have to do in the house.
Let's take a look at the DIY segment then.
This is where I usually relax after close of work every day. But for some time now, I've not been having time for it, and it's quite weedy. Today, I think I'm making time out to clear out some of the weeds, especially this. I usually call it abojise. That's how I have named it, but I know it has an English, its own botanical name. And this abojise is growing quite weedy with other weeds. So I'm trying to clear some of the weeds out. I usually do this myself. These weeds are quite different from the grass around those abojise plants. I'm seeing some of the weeds in here where the plant is, my abojise is. So I have to use my hands to pick these ones out. Quite dangerous, but if you want it well, you need to know how you're going to do it. So you see me removing these ones out. They are different from this particular plant. I don't know if it's legend or if it's based on fact, but this particular plant, I'm aware, or I'm told that it wards off evil spirits or witchcraft in your home. So I quite like it, and I planted this plant myself. Apart from the grass that you see around here, every other plant was planted by me. I did it myself right from scratch. So as you see, it's been quite hectic, but I can bet you it's very fulfilling, because at the end of the day, you get to have your cool garden, your good, nice, well-kept garden. So sit in, have some wine, your beer, your small chops at the end of a hard day's work. Well, this is me, Mona Effah, and this is my DIY. Thank you.
Ah, yes. How many years did it take you to grow those ones?
The grass has been 3 years. The other ones we planted while the house was being built.
So
yes,
everything came up with the house.
But the palm tree is about just 2 years old.
Oh, I see. That's quite fast then. But how long have you had a love for gardening?
When we were kids, when we are on vacation, we go back to our hometown. We go to the farms. And I got to love nature right from then. And we'll go to the various hamlets where our laborers on the farms used to stay. Sometimes you go there, small hamlets with the forest around you, but they have everything and it's so cool and cozy. I said, why can't we do this in Accra? And my dad would say, we'll fake it.
Before we say thank you for coming, we want to give you our first present, which is this box of goodies from our sponsors. We have the Kel 360, we have the Kel Case and Kel Charcoal, all of them premium toothpaste you can use. We also have our beautiful PL branded mug.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But we are not done. One more thing. And then we'll call it a Mona Effah Day. We have our beautiful stool, which has your full name there, including your title. Lawyer Mona Gertrude Effah, NPP PC, Waasa East Constituency.
How and when did you do this?
Oh yes, we always pull a trick out of the hat over here. We want you to remember that you are a queen, this is the symbol of your status as a queen. When the going gets tough and you set your eyes on it, you understand and recall that a lot of young girls are looking up to you, that the PL show has your back.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Indeed, thank you so much for coming.
God bless the whole crew. I really do appreciate this, for bringing me on the show for me to tell my story, to help encourage other young girls to know what to do, go out there, do what they feel they have to do. But then, whatever they are doing should be of benefit to the whole community or society where they are in. Yes, it's very important.
We are also so happy that you allowed yourself to share your story. So thank you so much, Mona.
Thank you.
And we wish you the very best in the elections.
Thank you. I'll come back here to tell you that I have won. Of course.
High five.
A big story.
Well, not a high five, but
a big story. A big story.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you too for watching. My guest today has been the NPP Parliamentary Candidate for Waasa East, East Constituency. She's also the Deputy CEO of the Coastal Development Authority in charge of the Western and Western North regions. My name is Keminni Amanor. The show is brought to you by the Kel Toothpaste brands, Kel 360, Kel Kids and Kel Charcoal. My beautiful makeup is by Cover GH, Cover Experts in Beauty. And my costume is by Halfway Clothing. I hope you loved it and you love the show even more. We'll see you same time. Oh wait, maybe you should do that for us. Please come and close the day for us.
I hope you had a good listening and you took in all that I shared with you and you're going to live with it. Let it motivate you. Aspire to be what you want to be in future. See you same time next week.
Bye. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.